This is the DAF Media pregame report. Under the bright lights of Darien High School Stadium Field, it's varsity football between two defending state champions. Tonight, the Maloney Spartans and the Darien Blue Wave will go to battle. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Braden Schenck joined alongside me, my color analyst, Michael Mercine. And Michael, this is the premier game of the regular season for Darien. They come in 1-1, Maloney 2-0. What do you think we're going to see in this one tonight?
Really good football.
We're now going to hop into our pregame report. First starting, we're going to take a look back at last week's game for Darien, where they took on the Bridgeport Central Hilltoppers. And here are the highlights from that game. So as you just saw right there, Darien, the impressive win against Bridgeport Central last week, 47-0. Mercine, what stuck out to you in that one? So that was Darien last week. Now moving over to the Maloney Spartan side. They took the trip to Simsbury last week and took down the Trojans 35-13. That was a game that the offense exploded on. Quarterback Kyle Valentine, 8 for 8 on his first 8 passes, 100+ yards in the first 2 drives. Plus then you throw a punt return from Marquise Ward. What did you see out of the Spartans in week 2? So that was week 2, and we're going to talk about some key players now in this one. First, starting with Darien's two Division III commits. James Tom committed to Tufts University, Jack Barber, Williams College. This is a Darien team, Michael, very inexperienced compared to past teams. What is the impact that this Darien team has having players like Barber and Tom really affecting both sides of the ball? Mentioned Kyle Valentine. He's our Maloney player to watch in this one. What do you have on Kyle's game?
And he's going to abuse them.
So Kyle Valentine, the quarterback for Maloney, he will be anchoring the offense of the Spartans. And for Darien, they have a defender you got to watch out for, senior captain Leighton Reeser. And what do you have for us on Leighton?
For a large game.
Leighton, a senior, he brings a ton of veteranship with him in the seniority, something that Darien really likes to see. And now we're going to shift the ball back to Maloney, and really their X factor. They've been able to score at any time, it felt like, this season. In the first 2 games, 7 offensive touchdowns, 3 defensive touchdowns, and 2 special teams touchdowns, Michael Mercine. I mean, the Spartans are they're really an unstoppable team. They can beat you on the offense, the defense, the special teams, anything else in between.
Smart of a team Maloney is.
They definitely are. The 3 guys you got to watch out for. We mentioned Kyle Valentine. Look out for wide receiver Gonzalez, and you got to look out for their running back as well. And number 24, Josh Boganski. Those 3 will be really anchoring the Maloney offense. But there's more importance on this game than in past years, Michael, and that is given the new SEAC classes. You see on your screen, the Class L, new for this year, realigned it, made it smaller. But Class L is really this powerhouse conference. 8 playoff teams from a year ago, and not 1, but 2 defending state champions, and they're on the field tonight. And that's the thing, is you got those 2, then you throw on New Canaan, St. Joseph, Bristol Central, Hull, Shelton, so many more that it could just go down the list. It's going to be a dogfight come December in the state playoffs, and one that is going to be interesting to watch.
Absolutely.
But our final takes here before we send you off to the kickoff. Keys to the game, what do you got for us on those? So those are the keys to the game for both sides in this one. The final thing before we send you off to the kickoff, the weather tonight, Michael. It's cold out here, 55 degrees, 13-mile-per-hour winds, 47% humidity, and it's the coldest day we've seen in quite some time here in southwestern Connecticut. How do you think that's going to factor into play?
And cheer their team on. Well,
that's going to do it for the pregame report. We're going to step aside for a bit, and when we return, we have the kickoff between the Maloney Spartans and the Darien Blue Wave on the DAF Media Network. Second and 10 on the 45-yard line. 1:24 left to play. In motion goes Wall. Drops back to Costa-Rui. He's going to look down the far side. And it is caught! McKiernan! Touchdown, Wilton! Tommy McKiernan pulls it in. And Wilton retakes the lead. What a play! And Wilton is not done yet.
And McKiernan, he's that guy. He's the jump ball man. They throw it up to him on the sideline, on the edge, one-on-one with the cornerback, and he wins the battle. He doesn't go to the ground, and he takes it into the end zone to give the Warriors a 1-point lead once more.
Darien in disbelief. 45 yards out. Acosta-Rui throws it, and it's McKiernan who brings it home, and smartly, head coach D'Annunzio will go for the 2-point conversion, only a 1-point lead. And this way actually, I'm not sure if they're necessarily going for it. Oh,
I believe they
Acosta-Rui.
should be going for it here,
Yep.
yeah.
Timeout will be taken by Wilton, because that's the thing is, Darien, you don't want them to give it to Tucker Stevens, potentially to win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to get it so that he can tie the game, so that's why they're going to go for 2. It gets interesting if Darien makes the stop right here.
Sort of, yeah, it does. It gets very interesting, and it opens up Coach Forget's playbook because he hasn't used Stevens for anything other than a PAT so far.
And even that, Stevens didn't kick it.
No, he did not. And so if Darien stops it, Coach Forget has to reevaluate whether or not he wants to change how he's been playing this game and go for the field goal, or if he wants to keep trusting in his offense to get those fourth down conversions and try to score the ball.
This is what high school football is all about.
Absolutely.
The gut-wrenching intensity out here. Wilton was down 12-7. McKiernan hauls in the catch, gives Wilton the lead, and now they just are 2 yards away from taking a 3-point lead, or 4 yards away, actually.
And McKiernan, this is not the first time he's brought the Warriors back from down. Warriors were down 14-0 at halftime to Ludlow in the second game of the year, and McKiernan took another long ball in, refused to go down. He's just one of those players that'll make a difference.
2-point conversion attempt. Acosta Rua, he's going to try to take himself, throw it off to Reyes. The sweep, Reyes is gone, and it's good. Wilton takes the 3-point lead. The 2-point conversion working to perfection. They've been trying that pitch off all game, and eventually Reyes gets it to go.
Yeah, and that forces Darien's hand here, doesn't it? You can see the Darien offense coming out slowly, or Darien special teams, rather, coming out slowly, hanging their heads a little bit, and Darien really needs to get themselves hyped up and needs to get themselves ready for, a minute 17. That's a lot of time in football, and especially
with 2 timeouts.
With 2 timeouts and a Darien offense that, can play the deep ball when they need to.
And on that replay, you can see the linebacker for Darien, I believe it was number 9, in McGarren, who had a good read of the play. He knew what it was. He knew where the ball was. He just had bad positioning. His hips were the wrong way. He couldn't break on Reyes, and he just had the speed to get to the pylon and put the Warriors up 3.
Michael Wall will set the ball up on the tee. What a turn has just occurred. This stadium is filled with energy once again.
Yeah. It was dead on this side of the field when Darien came up, and now everybody's really happy and ready to go.
Line drive kick. They're going to keep it away from the end zone. Picorni fields it at the 10. Brady is going to try to take it up the middle. Picorni now. And he will spin his way just shy of the 30. A minute and 11 Darien has to work with. We don't know what Tucker's field goal range is. Hasn't really, at least we haven't seen a field goal from Tucker made. They attempted, I think it was a 30-yarder at St. Joe's. No good.
But it wasn't a distance issue there. It was a left-right issue. I don't believe if it was wide. I don't remember if it was wide left or wide right.
It was wide left.
All right. And so now Darien has to decide whether or not they want to trust in Stevens for the tie. And personally, as a prediction, I don't think
they got to get there. They will.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to get in field goal range just now. Dahl's going to drop back, quick screen pass, caught over to McMullen. McMullen's going to try to maneuver his way. Flag has been thrown, and I think that's coming back.
Interesting call to throw the screen. Probably looked like Darien's definitely assuming that the Wilton defense is expecting the deep ball and to throw the screen, especially with your quicker player like McMullen. They're hoping to get under and get out there, but they just couldn't do it.
So that one's coming back. That's not what you want to see if you're Darien, especially in a 1-minute drill now. Holding on Darien.
Darien does have 2 timeouts, and so they can afford potentially a long ball over the middle that Wilton may not be ready for.
So holding on Darien. Dahl's going to try again now. Rolling to the far side. Dahl, line drive pass into Herget. He hauls it in and gets out of bounds for the first down. A great play by Trevor Herget.
And how about Dahl on that throw? He rolls to his right. He sets his feet. He scans the field. And then he throws Herget open to that right sideline. He led his receiver, and that gives Darien a big first down.
A lot of people think that Dahl is going to be really uncomfortable rolling to his right as he is a lefty quarterback. But as you said, he's really good at setting his feet and throwing the ball even when he's on a rollout.
Dahl now, low snap. He still fields it. Rolls to the near side. Dahl over the middle. Floater pass looking for Herget. He holds it in at the 30. Trevor Herget with the catch.
Darien takes the timeout as well. And you have to imagine that when you just see Darien's sidelines starting to come to life, Darien's players are starting to move more than they were coming out after the Wilton touchdown. And Tucker Stevens, I see him right now practicing a field goal kick, and we'll see what Coach Forget decides to do once it gets there.
That's actually Anson Sikora, number 99, warming up for Darien as First, they got to get there. 2 great catches by Herget. And Tommy, Darien's got some life in them right now.
And they're just have such a high awareness of where they are on the field and where the ball is. On the past 2 plays, Herget has known exactly where the ball is. He's been in the right pocket. And on that last deep ball, it was Sujin, the safety. He just couldn't find the ball in the lights. He had his back turned, and Herget made him pay with a big gainer there.
Trevor's been playing football his entire life. He has such a good IQ for the game, and he has been showing it on those last 2 catches right there. As Darien will trot back out there. They know they still have work they have to do. They still are trailing by 3. Ball on the 30 with 47 seconds. Darien does still have a timeout left on the board. Trips on the far side. Dahl Wilson in the backfield. Dahl throws this one into the corner, looking for Herget, and jump ball! It's a dogfight. Who's going to come away with it? They're going to get to Darien. Darien with the catch. Trevor Herget pulls it away. Wow!
That was a dogfight for a ball if I've ever seen one. I mean, you saw legs twirling, and those 2 were really, really fighting for it. And maybe it looks like Herget was able to muscle the ball away, and now Darien's at the goal line. Timeout
is called by head coach Giannunzio, and he's walking straight to the referee. Stevenson, I thought, had possession of it. Herget ripped it out of his hands. And just like that, Darien has the ball on 1st and goal at the 2.
Yeah, and
it looked dead to rights to be a pick, too.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if we can see that again. But, you know, that was one of those plays. I mean, who thought that Herget was going to be able to come up with that?
It went straight to Stevenson. And Herget was able to power his way through, and that's just sucks the energy out of this Fujitani Stadium, at least on our side. The far side, Darien, they erupted when Herget caught that ball.
Passed back and forth, which fan section has the juice. And with the excitement over the past few plays.
1st and goal, Dahl and Wilson in the backfield. Twin receivers hustling off was Soju.
Darien's got 35 seconds and 4 downs to get 3 yards, and you know, if you're a gambling person, I would take those odds.
Dahl and Wilson. Ball on the 2. They're going to hand it off to Wilson, trying to pound it. He's going to be taken down at the 1. And Darien cannot believe it. The clock's going to keep on ticking. Darien saying run it again. They're not calling the timeout.
Yeah, the clock ticking for Darien's kind of a good thing. I mean, they can get 3 plays off in 20 seconds. And it's a good idea because now Darien's going to have the opportunity to potentially call a timeout and kick a field goal if they need to. But also, it prevents Wilton from getting any sort of long ball after if they score.
Dahl and Wilson's going to try again. Ball on the 1, 2nd and 1. Dahl hands off to Wilson, and it's a touchdown! Jake Wilson breaks through! Go crazy, Darien! The comeback is complete! Jake Wilson brings it in, and Darien has the lead.
I mean,
favor. 3rd and long for the Blue Wave to get it started in the 2nd quarter. Dahl in the backfields. 3rd and 23 to be exact. Dahl drops back, and he will be taken down immediately. Boutine and Will Pepe for the sack.
Buchanan is collapsing that Darien O-line right now heavily. They're bringing the heat every time. They're getting through every time. No wonder Simeon Dahl isn't feeling comfortable in the pocket.
Right, and this is what New Canaan takes pride in, is their defense. And their offense has struggled all season with putting points on the board, especially with the passing game. As we've seen, there's only been 2 or 3 passing touchdowns this entire year.
So now this will bring out Trevor Herget, the punter for Darien, and back to return will be Griffin Gettner. Herget with the punt, almost chaos, but Gettner will watch it bounce, field it at the, actually will let it go as the defensive likes of Darien will force him. Eventually grabbed right there. It's a good pressure put up by this Darien team, and now New Canaan will take over on the 35-yard line.
Right, and that almost punt block could have changed the momentum of this game. And that was very good play by that New Canaan Rams player. Wasn't able to catch a number who broke through and almost punt just barely slipped through his hands.
And good pressure by Sean McGarren for this Darien team, wearing number 26 to pressure Gettner to not even return it. Nonetheless, though, New Canaan will trot back out on the offense, looking for a different story as Ty Groff has been forced to punt the last two. Here comes the Rams, looking for something. Groff and Telesco will be in the backfields.
A.J. Kelly in great position to make a play here.
Kelly, the senior back, starting for Darien this game. Makes the handoff. Groff will take it himself and be snuffed immediately by A.J. Kelly. And actually, that was 92 Jack Barber as well, the Williams-bound Jack Barber.
Right, and Ty Groff is a player that the Rams like to give the ball to. Previous in the season, Alex Russi was the starting quarterback. The Rams love to run the ball with him. However, this Blue Wave defense is a lot stronger than the other ones they've been playing with.
In motion goes Smith behind Groff. Groff will drop back, throw the screen pass over to Smith, and he's taken down immediately. But there's a flag on the play. So watch out for the flag on it, and there's a chance.
Great play by Mac McGarren there. As you can see here, comes through, finds the gap, and is able to meet Smith right as he catches the football.
So it's going to be against New Canaan. I would assume head coach Mike Forget is going to decline this penalty, especially after the big loss that New Canaan just took. So the penalty is against the Rams, but they're going to decline it, the false start.
New Canaan here, 3rd and long, as we spoke about before. This is not a position that they've been comfortable with, and we're expecting to see a handoff to Telesco for hopefully a big gain is what the Rams are looking for.
So 3rd down for the Rams. They're 1 for 3 on the 3rd downs in this one. Looking for a conversion. Groff in the backfields. He'll fake it. Groff, the ball is knocked loose, and that's a fumble. And it's actually picked up by Darien.
How about that?
Give it to number 25, Jack Silsby, and Darien is in business. Jack Silsby, the junior, stepping up in Turkey Bowl 28. Groff just couldn't get it off. Barber with the tackle, and Silsby coming up big for the Wave.
And Jack Silsby, the D lineman, he's a smaller guy, 5'8", 183, heavy but small, and he's got some speed, some quickness. He used it, got back there, recovered that fumble. That's a great play from Silsby and a great play from Jack Barber, who struggled earlier in the season to get to the quarterback. He's found his way recently, and it paid off for him right there. Now Darien's got some great field position in the red zone.
Everything went well for Darien defense on that drive, able to create enough pressure for Ty Groff to make a forced pass, and it was knocked down for the fumble.
Good play there by Jack Silsby. Dull over the middle, finds Picorni. Picorni's still up, and eventually will power his way down to the 5. A good game by the Notre Dame bound Brady Picorni.
New Canaan defense has struggled to stop Brady Picorni this game. 3 big receptions that have led to first downs or 2nd downs and 5, and this is something that the Rams are going to have to shut down if they want to win this game.
And that was a big play by Silsby. Now 2nd and 5 for Darien. They're not 2nd and goal, so they will have an extra life, but Dahl will roll out to the far side, take it himself, rush, reach for the end zone, and touchdown Darien. Simeon Dahl is in. A great play by the senior quarterback, and Darien goes up 9-0.
And that right there is where Simeon Dahl's non-existent fear of running the ball comes into play. There were New Canaan players coming right at him. He was not scared. He came right down, dove at that pylon, got in. That's a great play from Simeon Dahl. Great recognition, and able to use his running ability to get in the end zone.
Simeon Dahl rushing for the touchdown on that one, and he has now had 14 touchdowns in the past 4 games alone for Darien, as Tucker Stevens will be on for the PAT. Made the field goal. Stevens puts it up, and a beautifully placed kick by Tucker. Make it 10-0 Darien.
And this Darien team is amazing right now. This offense is looking better than it has in the last 2 Turkey Bowls. Last 2 Turkey Bowls, they combined for 7 total points. Right now, they're already at 10, just in the beginning of the 2nd quarter. So the Darien team is looking great. They've been prepared. They're very excited for this game today. And this next drive will be a battle.
Took only 2 plays, 11 yards, but Darien got the job done, picking up the score, making it 10-0 in this one. And you brought up the past Turkey Bowls. I find it interesting. The last time Darien won a Turkey Bowl was 2016. The 2017 Turkey Bowl started off with a pick 6 for New Canaan. So ever since then, it's been all Rams. The first time Darien has been able to get out of the gate with a good start in the Turkey Bowl as they lead 10-0. I mean, I guess you could call it a curse almost, that pick 6, cursing Darien up until this point. Haven't won a Turkey Bowl since, but they lead 10-0 here early in the 2nd quarter, and that's the important part, Greg. It's early still.